someplace else. We've heard today from many of the witnesses that if there is a cap and tax proposal passed by the Congress, there will be a huge incentive for utilities that generate electricity from coal to convert to natural gas, because they won't have to buy as many carbon credits by using natural gas. And that's going to increase the demand in natural gas and put pressure on increased prices. With that in mind, I do not share my chairman's feeling that cap and tax is inevitable, but if it does pass, does that increase the urgency of lifting the moratorium on offshore drilling? And even if it didn't, I'd like to ask all of the witnesses simply to give me a yes or no answer of whether they support lifting the moratorium on offshore drilling right away, starting with you, Mr. McClendon.
We don't drill offshore. We don't drill in the Rocky Mountains, but I'm for all things American. So I think we should develop all of our American assets. But I will tell you that this new surge of shale production comes from private lands, and I think it's something we all need to recognize, that there's a lot of gas coming out of some traditional areas.
The clock is ticking both across the way and here. Mr. Smith?
Policies that call for increased demand without corresponding plans to increase supply are a recipe for disaster. We absolutely believe that we should be developing all of our energy resources in the U.S., especially in the Intermountain West and the Outer Continental Shelf.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Harris.
Sir, just a simple yes.
Okay, Mr. Manning.
Regarding the upstream sector, that we believe on behalf of our customers, we believe all options should be open.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Wells.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. German.
Yeah, it's a little different. We produce vehicles. We're not in the fuel generation side, but the Honda is certainly on record as saying that we need to reduce consumption, and all ways to help do that should be on the table.
Okay.
Can the record just at this point, note that the chairman could have had 6 people who took the opposite point of view, so it just showed the open-mindedness of the chairman in the construction of this panel.
Well, we will excuse the mistake the chairman may feel that he made on this, and I yield back the balance of my time.
I thank the gentleman. We're going to take a, how much time is left? Does anyone know on the roll call right now?
About 6 minutes.
What I'm going to do is recognize the gentleman from Oregon, Mr. Blumenauer, and pass the gavel to him, and he can make a decision as to how long he wants his question period to go.